What's going on, people? Welcome back to Curtis Shaw TV, back with another live stream. And today, Arsenal therapy is back a little bit earlier than expected. I didn't expect this to really happen until the start of the Premier League season, but one game into pre-season, and here we are. We're all sitting here going, oh no, is this going to happen again? They told us to be excited. Right now, I'm not feeling too excited watching Arsenal get beat against Hibernian. Big up to everyone in the chat. Thank you very much for supporting and joining in. And listen, I just want to say the support on the videos over the past few weeks has been unbelievable. Some of the numbers and the likes on the videos and the comments, so I can't thank you all enough for that. And I really appreciate all of your support. Now, I know a lot of people, I always want to add balance to every argument. I don't just want to come on here and slate Arsenal and slate Mikel Arteta, even though you know my opinion on that manager. But yeah, Alexis in the background, man. Before he snaked us, man, he was one of my favourite players. So he's there, man. I'm sure most of you loved him as well. But I'm going to add balance to what happened yesterday because a lot of people were messaging me going, it's pre-season, don't overdo it. You know me, people. I say it as I see it. That's the only way I know how. To me, what I saw yesterday was borderline embarrassing. I tried not to get annoyed or angry in that stream, but I just didn't like it. Why I didn't like it was, if we'd had a good season last year and things had gone well and we've turned back up and lost to Hibernian, I wouldn't panic. I'd say, it's just one of them. They caught us. It was an off day. It's pre-season. That felt like last season. Defensive mistakes, missed chances, passing the ball backwards from midfield. It felt like last season. Mikel Arteta with his hands on his head, you know, and we end up losing. Now, as I said, I will add context. We lost the game 2-1 yesterday to Hibernian. A few people were upset in the comments, a few Hibernian fans. I called them the Scottish Weatherspoons, which maybe in theory is a little bit harsh. It is a joke, but I'm sure they didn't like that. But to me, I'm sorry, Arsenal should be going up there and rolling them over. You know, they've got our third choice goalkeeper from last season in goal, in Matt Macy, who actually did play well. But it was the same old story. First goal, Cedric, poor back pass. Okonkwo makes a mistake on his debut. Terrible mistake. I'm not going to hammer him. He's 19 years of age. Arsenal at this moment in time do not have a backup goalkeeper, which is wild. You know, outside of Bernd Leno, we don't have a first-team goalkeeper. And we go 1-0 down. And you're like, here we go again. I always say when Arsenal lose or concede a goal, there will be an element of comedy to it. It ain't just going to be a ball gets crossed in and they score from a header or they just take a long-range shot. Someone's going to fall over, miss-kick it, get nutmegged, do something crazy. It was there again. The goalkeeper's doing kung fu kicks, missing the ball. It was madness. The second goal they scored, the guy is half a yard offside. We can't ignore that. But there's no VAR. It's a pre-season friendly. It is what it is. We scored a goal back. Good move. Lacazette into Bellerin, crosses it. Smith Rowe scores at the back post. We missed a penalty. Pepe, who I actually thought played really well in that second half, misses a penalty. Some people said he did it to make Saka feel better. But hey, that's a whole other story. We missed the penalty. We lose the game 2-1 to Hibernian. Not the end of the world. But are these players playing for this manager? I was looking at certain things and body language and just the whole attitude and spirit. I didn't see a team that was happy to be back in pre-season and smiling and enjoying the game. That, you know, I saw Lacazette with his hands on his head. I saw Aubameyang wasn't smiling, didn't look happy. Arteta's sitting there looking crestfallen on the bench. It just felt like last season. And that's not a good sign. This is early in pre-season. We've played one game. Our next 4 games in pre-season are Rangers, Inter Milan, Everton, and Tottenham. And then Chelsea, in fact. Every pre-season game is going to be harder than that one. So I did have reason to worry. I didn't like what I was seeing, you know. It's not necessarily whether we won the game or not. It was the general attitude, the style of play. Eddie Nketiah misses an absolute sitter. Sums him up. Does well, high press, wins the ball back, misses an absolute sitter, puts it wide. One thing that I hope it highlighted for Mikel Arteta is that man said it's down to the jet lag. That's what I was saying yesterday. That half an hour flight, mate, to Scotland, it's finished them. It's took it out of them. But yeah, that summed up Eddie. And I hope, like I said, that this has made Mikel Arteta realise that if you had any plans of keeping some of these players, forget it. Yeah, throw them plans out the window. We have to move the deadwood. We have to get rid of them, and quick. And I'm asking serious question marks about that guy, Edu, mate. Because Edu, I've shown you a lot of patience. And I've given Mikel Arteta the majority of the flack. I've been patient with Edu because I believe he had a good January with very little to work with. He got Matt Ryan and Odegaard and got rid of Socrates, Mustafi and Ozil. But you have got the whole summer window now to fix this. Where are the new signings? How come we haven't signed anybody significant in this window? Yeah, there's 6 weeks till the window closes, but there's 4 weeks till the season starts. I want players to be on tour. We saw last year Thomas Partey signed at the end. He didn't settle into the team. He had a bang average season. I want the new signings to go on tour, go to Scotland, go to America, train for 3 or 4 weeks, settle into the team and be ready for the league. Why do we leave everything until the last minute? Yeah, you can say that a lot of teams around the Premier League have not signed too many players yet, but we're the ones playing catch-up. We finished 8th. If Manchester City want to sign 2 players on deadline day, they've got the quality to cope with it. So have Chelsea, so have Man United. Man United have signed Jadon Sancho for 72 million. They're trying to sign Varane. Chelsea are trying to sign Haaland for 150 million. City are putting 100 million offers in for Grealish and Kane. You know, Liverpool have signed Kanate. They're being linked with Saul from Atletico. You know, we have to get moving, man. Get moving and shaking, as they say, because I don't see how we catch up if Edu doesn't start doing, you know, some proper work. Big up to everyone in the comments. Hit a like on the video and subscribe if you haven't already. Desmond said, good morning, Curtis from Jamaica. Who is responsible to loan out Mikel Arteta? Listen, if we could, we would, I'm sure. Rayan said, Sanchez was our last elite player. For me, the best player of the Emirates era at Arsenal, I think. The level that he performed at for the few years he was here, he was just unbelievable. What I would do to have a player like him at Arsenal now. 5-1 against PSG in pre-season, say no more. As I said, I've seen pre-seasons where we've won games and I've said, yo, big season coming up now. First game of the season, we've gone and got beat. So it's not always necessarily about results. But I'm looking at the whole setup. Where's the signings? How come we haven't sold hardly anybody? How come the manager already looks like hands on his head in pre-season? This is stressing me out, you know? Where's the Cronkays, man? Where's Josh? Where's Josh and Stan? I ain't heard from them, man, since they said be excited and 250 million rumours were going around, you know? Man said Mick L. Arteta. Man took pure L's last year, 13 in the league, bro. Absolute madness. Big up Leo Messi surfing in speakers. He said, big up Curtis. I'm telling you now, with this coach, ownership and board, Arsenal are only going to get worse. I hate saying it, but it's right in front of us. It's very, very difficult to argue with that comment because for me, the manager's out of his depth. I do think there is potential there for him, maybe in a few years' time to be a good coach, but he ain't it for us right now. The owners don't even care. They're not investing, they're not spending, and the board are out of their depth as well. Edu's a glorified travel agent. Vinay is a salesman in the office. And Josh, he's a Denver Nuggets guy, mate. Arsenal is a little side dish. It's the rice on the Nando's dish, man. It's just there to help. You know what I mean? It ain't the main priority. When you go Nando's, that chicken's what you care about. The rice is just there to help it along. You know what I mean? How are you guys going to deal with the heat in Orlando? I mean, listen. Let's deal with Scotland first before we think about Arsenal going to Orlando and playing Inter Milan and teams like that, you know. Ali Arsenal said 7 or 8 players have to go, 100%, you know, loads of players. If anything, yesterday, I think we might need even more than that. I was looking through the squad and looking at players that came back from the loans and stuff like that. I think we may have to get rid of up to 10 players. And I just don't see how Edu can do that in 6 weeks. Renarsson needs to go, in my opinion. Hector Bellerin needs to go. I think there's an argument for one of Chambers or Holding to go, but I think he'll probably keep both of them now that Saliba has gone. I think El Neni could go as well. Xhaka needs to go. Joe Willock might go. I think they may sell him. Nelson, I'm not sure what they'll do with him. Maybe loan him. I think Eddie Nketiah needs to go. Lacazette, I don't think you're going to get a buyer for him, but if we got a good offer for Lacazette, I would consider it. I think Torreira will leave as well. I think Ainsley, if they get a good offer, would go. Kolasinac has got to go. There are so many. There's talk of Leno wanting to go. You're literally talking double figures, the amount of players that need to go. And I just don't see Edu getting that done in 6 weeks. And like I said, it's hard to sell trash. No disrespect to these players. They're not all bad players, but they're players that we don't want. It's hard to sell the things that you don't want. There's a reason you don't want them. And they're on big wages as well, the majority of them. Big up 11 Drogbino. He said, imagine how they're going to play after the flight to America. Bro, they'll need a week off with the jet lag. It's just crazy, man. If Amazon were running them cameras yesterday, they probably already made £1 million back, on that game. It was calamitous Arsenal again. Rewind said, Curtis, where is the 250 mil, bro? That 250 mil is not going on transfers. I think we can all, kind of get our heads around the fact that that was a gimmick. It was time to renew season tickets. Arsenal on a regular basis start throwing stories out when it's season ticket renewal time. Clearance sale FC, man. I'm telling you, buy El Neni, you get Bellerin free, man. Buy one, get one free business. Big up Jashari says, Kia Jarapchin's currently out of stock. Come back 31st of August. Yeah, we'll probably panic buy Coutinho or something from Kia Jarapchin. Give him about 300 grand a week. Willian's been enjoying the food at his restaurant. I mean, listen, I don't want to just pinpoint Willian, but boy, man, you look like you've been eating the steak in the summer, bro. Willian looked heavy yesterday, and I don't mean heavy like he was playing good football. The man looks like he's put weight on, bro. The man looks like he's put weight on. I don't think that guy cares anymore. Man's been eating steak in the restaurant, Salt Bay business. I don't know what was going off, but Willian, wow. He has got to go down as one of the worst transfers in the history of Arsenal. Simply because, how has he gone from one of his best seasons ever at Chelsea? 6 months later, this guy looks an absolute, he can't even play football at Arsenal, and we're stuck with him for another 2 years. I don't see us getting him out the door. He's on too much money. The one chance was MLS. They can't afford him. Yeah, I saw Willian, mate. I couldn't miss him. You know what I mean? I couldn't miss him. He carries on going to that restaurant, mate. Yo, he's... I don't know what's going off. These men are bantering Arsenal off at this point to me. We got players on the pitch that don't even want to be there, let's be honest. And we don't want some of them there. El Savi said, how does Eddie start ahead of Balogun in pre-season? Make it make sense. I don't know. And do you know what? I had the worry yesterday, and I said this during the stream, that if some of these guys start playing well in pre-season, I feel like Arteta will fall for it and start keeping these guys. So the one positive out of that bad result is the likes of Eddie and El Neni and Bellerin and some of the others. He's got to look at it and say, I need to get rid of these guys. Willian, you've got to get rid of them at all costs. So that's the only silver lining of a difficult defeat. Willian looks Luke Shaw heavy. Yeah, man, he looks like he's had a good summer. But look at Luke Shaw, man's performed. You know what I mean? He's seriously performed. We haven't. Big up Broads, man. He said we need at least 1 billion to fix this, bro. We needed the 2 billion from Daniel Ek, or we needed an extra half on top, 2.5. Where's Daniel Ek, people? Was this a publicity stunt? Did this guy use us to boost his own income? I'm sure the Spotify shares went up when people felt he was going to buy Arsenal. Where's he at, man? 2 bids and he's disappeared. They don't even look like he was really trying to buy the club. The Kroenkes, for me, the fans need to readdress that situation at I don't even know if we can afford to wait till the end of the transfer window. I think first home game of the season and those 2 pre-season games at home where we play Tottenham And I think Chelsea now, one of them's away, one's at home. The fans need to be making noise, bruv. This guy's mugging us off. We need to be going again. I think protests need to be back. This guy is absolutely ripping the living daylights out of this football club. I don't recognise this club. I really don't recognise it. You know, one thing I will say in Mikel Arteta's defence, and you guys know me, I'm not a fan of Arteta. One thing I'll say in the guy's defence, where's the backing for the guy? Where's the signings? He clearly wants a ball-playing defender. Get Ben White done. Get him a right back. Get him a midfielder and a number 10. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. We can't even get the players that we need. That is just a friendly talk. Don't work with me, bro. I'm sorry. It just doesn't. You know, this ain't a one-off. We ain't had a good season then or bad pre-season game. You know, that's not a big deal. We've just finished 8th. We've had our worst season in 25 years. Alarm bells should be ringing all over the place, you know. I don't know what is going off. As I said, I'm not throwing the whole of yesterday's situation on Mikel Arteta. You know, I'm going to do a Kevin Campbell. It's the players as well. But I'm looking at Edu and the Kroenkes. What on earth are you two doing? Last picture I saw of Edu, that guy was on a jet ski in Portugal. I told you, this man's a glorified travel agent, Thomas Cook. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't know what this guy's doing. He's putting up pictures, you know, frying steak and smoking a cigar. Where's our signings, bro? You're leaving this guy out to dry right now, Arteta. Do I believe he's the man for the job? No, I don't. But at least give him the best opportunity to perform. Where's the signings? Where's the Kroenkes backing him? They said they want him. They backed him in the summer. They've ignored the likes of Antonio Conte for this guy. But then you ain't even going to back the guy and give him the money. I know what some people will say. The transfer window's not closed. Don't panic, blah, blah, blah. But does anyone genuinely have the belief that we're going to go and blow this transfer market up? I just don't see it. And I'm frustrated already, man. Curtis, he said he's being backed. He did. He said those words, man. I am being backed by this owner. It all feels very Arsene Wenger towards the end. You sound like that politician defending a political party that you don't even believe in. Ankanyezi said, but then again, Big C Arteta comes out and lies to us in the press conference that the board supports him, which is a lie. He also needs to go. He's a small piece on a chessboard, you know. He's the pawn and he's being instructed where to go by the higher powers. What I liked about Arteta when he initially joined the football club, he was very clear about what he wanted in the press conferences. As time's gone on, all I'm hearing is politician settings. I just hear a guy that is defending the big owner at the top because he wants to stay in the job. He said a few weeks ago, Saliba and Mavropanos would get a pre-season. They're both now leaving the club on loan. You know, I actually feel like I can't trust what this guy says anymore. Jashar says, big up Curtis, you can't look too much into that result. No recognised keeper, one regular centre-back, playing Kolasinac, El Neni, Willian, etc. Last pre-season, Eddie scored a hat-trick. What did that mean? Listen, Jashar, and I respect your comments, bro. You support the channel. And I'll never say that somebody's wrong. It's just perspective on how we look at things. I'm not so much... And what you're saying there is right. We had a young goalkeeper, no real centre-back outside of Pablo Mari. What my question is, why do we have no recognised goalkeeper? If Leno's away, why do we not have a backup goalkeeper? If Gabriel's injured at the moment, may miss the start of the season, why have we loaned out Saliba when we haven't completed the signing of Ben White yet? So where are the centre-backs? How come Kolasinac hasn't left? El Neni's got, I believe, a year left on his deal. Why are we not selling him? Why is Willian still at the club? Why is Eddie Nketiah starting up front ahead of Balogun? These are the questions. So your answer is correct. But at the same time, you can flip those answers around and say, why is that situation occurring? How come there wasn't one new signing on the pitch for Arsenal yesterday? I know, obviously, we've signed Nuno Tavares. That, again, was another mix-up. Apparently, Arsenal didn't get the paperwork sorted out in time. So he wasn't able to play in a pre-season friendly. Again, Arsenal. It's typical Arsenal. Sign a player, don't sort out the paperwork. The man can't play in the game. You know, why have we got so many players on the pitch that shouldn't be there? Why are we not doing anything? What is Edu doing? You know, like I said, I don't just want to throw it on Mikel Arteta. You guys know my thoughts on Arteta. What is Edu doing to get new players into this club and get players out of the door? You know, there's so many players there that shouldn't be there. Eddie and Ketty or Willian, El Neni, Bellerin, you know, Xhaka. These players have to be sold. It's crazy. Tookie said, Curtis, you know, when you see politicians on TV and you don't believe them, can't trust them and can't relate to them, that's how I feel with Arsenal. Yeah, we're just fed what sounds great now. Just feed them whatever they need to hear. Tell them we've got 250 million. That'll calm them down for 2 weeks. You know, it almost feels like we're just being fed whatever needs to be fed to us, you know. New kit comes out this week. On Saturday, they'll play in the new home kit against Rangers, you know. Finished 8th, no Europe. One signing, a backup left back from Benfica. Nobody sold. A lot of players that were on loan last year are coming back. You know, I'm panicking. I'm panicking, people. Brentford in 4 weeks. If I'm Brentford, I'm sitting there thinking, yo, got a chance of beating Arsenal. I'm telling you, at home, with all their fans just promoted, yo, man. I'm telling you, they'll fancy it. We then play Chelsea and Man City. It could be a sticky August. Josh Yar said, big up Curtis, I agree with you, but nothing will change until we improve the actual first team. Kroenke's out. Yeah, we have to improve that first team. I suppose in context, we had no Saka, no Tierney, and no Leno, no Xhaka. Xhaka, obviously, is somebody I think will sell. And no Torreira, who, of course, will return when he comes back from the Copa America, although I do think we will sell him. I'm worried. I'm worried, man. I'm looking at that team, and I don't see at the moment where we're going. I don't understand what we're trying to do as a football club. That's what worries me with Arsenal. I don't know what the plan is. I don't get it. We clearly wanted a number 10 in Buendia. We went for him publicly, got outbid, didn't sign him. I think the club left him alone because they thought they'd get Odegaard back on loan. That's my opinion. They then get rid of, or Zidane then leaves the club and they bring Ancelotti in, and Ancelotti decides to keep him. And I think that scuppered Arsenal's plans in the number 10. I think they're now... Yeah, maybe they're looking at Maddison. Do I think Arsenal will go and spend 60 mil on Maddison? No, I don't believe they'll get that deal done. So, yeah, I'm worried. I'm worried. It's not just the manager. There is a bigger problem at this football club than the manager. And you guys know my opinion on the manager. But there are bigger issues. You know, let's not forget the Stan Kroenke situation still is there, people. This guy is still not spending no money and not backing this manager. Right, people, let's get into a Mikel Arteta press conference and a few comments. Curtis, you need to do a space on Twitter. Yeah, I've never done one of them, actually. I've looked and listened in on one, but I've never done one. So, yeah, I may look into that. But Mikel Arteta, this was what he said in the press conference. Sack Arteta, said Evan Angel. And big up for the super chat and said, if we don't see all our transfer targets on that plane to America, just forget next season. Southgate and Edu are just here for the brown envelopes. Man said Southgate. This is what man said Southgate. Bro, I think Southgate would be an upgrade on Arteta right now, you know. But I hear what you're saying. But obviously, I believe you mean Arteta. This guy, Mikel Arteta. Look at that face, man. It just looks confused. Confused.com, you know. But here he is. Let's hear what Mikel Arteta's got to say. He looks in shock. He actually looks in shock. He doesn't say much in the press conference, so we're not going to have the wild comments of usual. He was asked on the performance. I'm always disappointed when we lose a football match, but it is the first game. We played with many kids and only had 4 training sessions. We've trained hard, and you could see that the players were a little bit leggy. I think we conceded the first goal, which was an accident. Second goal was clearly offside. We created many chances, but we didn't score. That's what pre-season is for, to take the things that we haven't done well in training and then improve. I mean, I would argue you took a lot of that from last season. You know, these mistakes weren't just in training. They were happening on the pitch. So I think he needs to acknowledge that as well. Listen, we did miss chances, and Ketia missed a sitter. Pepe missed a penalty. Thomas Partey at the post with a brilliant free kick. Maybe his shooting is getting back to the standard we'd hoped. And the Pigeons will be safe this year. Tim Smith said he is an accident. Yeah, I'm telling you, Arteta's the accident. He accidentally found his way into the job at Arsenal, I think. We lost the game because we trained too hard. Yesterday they were saying it's the haggis, Curtis, or it's the iron brew, or it's the jet lag. That 30-minute flight, man, it's done us. But here we are. And then he said on whether the lack of training so far explains the performance. He says it does, but there's no excuse because we want to come here and win the match. So it's like he's saying the lack of training is part of it, but I'm not using it as an excuse. They work really hard. The boys work really hard, and you could see that some of them were not in the best condition. Willian. Willian came back looking like Sherman Clump, bruv. I don't know what's been going off. Nutty Professor settings. But we're still very early in pre-season. It was great to see some of the young lads making their debuts. We'll keep working. I mean, 6 youngsters made their debut, which was positive to say, to be honest. 6 youngsters making their debut. And yeah, Mamadou, listen, I did speak about that in the stream yesterday. Arsenal charged fans who weren't season ticket holders last season £7.99 to watch that game. I mean, I'm sorry, but I actually think that is a disgrace. You know me, I'm a man of the people, man. I'm a defend the people. I'm watching clubs stream pre-season games for free on YouTube, and yet Arsenal are charging $7.99 to watch Arsenal against Hibernian. I'm sorry, that for me is absolutely shocking. Sherman. Dear me, but yeah, man. $7.99 to watch that. They should be giving fans their money back after that shocking performance. On Emile Smith-Rowe's goal, he knows that it's part of the game he needs to get better at. We are working on it a lot, and you could see the positions he took today. He created 2 or 3 big chances. He was asked about Rangers on Saturday. It's a very good game for me, especially because I played there, and it is a really special place. And I look forward to the game. I mean, nothing really. He's made a few more comments, which I will go into. Damon said, big up Curtis, being an Arsenal fan is like being in a loveless marriage. You're not wrong on that one, man. Seems like we're doing all the loving. They don't give no loving back to us, They don't show no respect towards us. Let me get into the next comments, what Mikel Arteta said after the game. He was asked on if Smith-Rowe will stay at Arsenal. He said, without a question, yes, he will stay here 100%. And then there was no comment when he was asked about Aston Villa's bids. I'm sure he hates speaking about Aston Villa after the way they've dealt with us over the last year, signing Buendia and taking Emi Martinez. But I take everything that Mikel Arteta says with a pinch of salt. He said that Saliba would get pre-season. He said we'd planned at the end of last season. He said we already had the plans in place going into the transfer window. We're sitting here now on the 14th of July with one signing, Doggy Dog, the left back, the backup left back, Nuno Tavares. Apart from that, nothing's been done. So I take everything what he says with a pinch of salt. Big up Kid Kibble. He said, Curtis Shaw, my favourite YouTuber. Big up. This is Lucas Live. Said, do you think it's excuses, Curtis? If Arteta loses all his first 4 games, do you think he must go? 100%. 100%. Clear plan. Yeah, exactly. I think the clear plan is clearly not as clear as they thought it was, The Lone Wolf said, I'm from Thai, following you. Big up for the support. James M said, Curtis, best Arsenal YouTuber. Thank you very much. Let's get into his comments. And there is over 1,300 of you in here. Appreciate the support. Smash a like and subscribe if you haven't already. So he goes on. His next comment was about Joe Willock. Joe Willock is on tour with Arsenal. He trained all week, but he didn't play. He didn't play the game, and there were rumours yesterday linking him with a move back to Newcastle on loan, which for me makes absolutely no sense. For me, Arsenal have 2 options when it comes to Joe Willock. Number one, you cash in on him and sell him to Newcastle and try and get £25 million for him. Or you keep him at Arsenal and see if you can develop him into a very good goal-scoring midfielder. Loaning him back to Newcastle for a season makes absolutely no sense to me. He could go there and have a bad season. Next minute, you've got no opportunity to sell him, or now his reputation's gone down and now you don't want to play him. So for me, loaning him back to Newcastle for another year makes absolutely no sense. But he's trained all week. Arteta said he wasn't involved today because he had a little groin issue. He trained yesterday really well, but we didn't want to risk him. Joe is part of our plans. He's our player. And in the time that he's here, we will try to make the most of him. Now, again, this is what I'm saying about Mikel Arteta. While you don't really understand. And there you go. Sean Mitchell, you've got it absolutely bang on. That's the bit I was going to highlight. You've said Joe is part of our plans, which makes you think, okay, you're going to keep him next season. But then you say, and in the time he's here, that to me says, if we get a good offer, we'll sell him. That's what I'm taking from that. I could be wrong, but that's what I think. I don't think they'll keep him if they get a big offer for him, but we'll have to see. Read between the lines. He's out in January. Yeah, probably. More waffle from Arteta. Mr. Dexter says, big up Curtis. I just want to say I'm really baffled by how slow Arsenal are in the transfer market with selling and buying players. The lack of movement in that area is blatantly obvious to the league. We are one of the worst big clubs in this country at buying and selling players, in my opinion. Jamal said, hello, Curtis. Can't send you a super chat. My region doesn't have it. No worries, bro. I sent you a DM on IG today. I would appreciate if you can check out about my struggles, how you have helped me. Hey, big up, Jamal. And listen, I appreciate you reaching out and happy to help with the content, That's what it's about, man. We have to help each other, especially when it comes to getting through this Arsenal stuff. Let's continue further. He was asked about Bukayo Saka. He said he will be fine. He's such a strong character. He has received a lot of love and support from the world of football, not only with Arsenal, but the national team, all the English fans, because he doesn't deserve anything like what he has been through. Apparently, Arteta and Josh Kroenke have reached out to Saka and a number of the first team players. So that's good to see in that sense. And this, for me, was the most worrying part of his press conference. I just didn't like this comment. This, to me, screams out Arsene Wenger towards the end of his time at Arsenal, the politician answer when it comes to transfers. He was asked about transfers. Do you expect more players to come in? Arteta's response was, on transfers, we've got one for now, and we are really happy with the one new signing we have. We will work with the players we have, try to make them better, and compete as well as we can. I mean, listen, it's always important not to read too much into what managers say, right? But this is very like I'm going to try my best kind of attitude. It's not that, listen, we're in the market. We're looking to improve. We're trying to make marquee transfers that are going to improve the club. I want the fans to be patient because we're doing our best to bring in the best players possible. They're the kind of broad shoulder responses that I want to hear from managers. You do get those kind of responses from certain managers. But this response is like, listen, we've got one player and we'll work with the players we have and we'll try and compete. We'll try our best. I don't like that comment. I just don't like it. It worries me. It sounds very, I'm going to try my best, but I don't really believe in what's happening. Like you said there, Brad, do or don't. There is no try. Tell me that you are in the market for the best players that we can get. Tell me that you're talking to quality players and that players want to join Arsenal. Give us belief. Don't tell me we will work with the players we have and try to make them better. Compete as well as we can. That's what we did last season. Last season we did that. We've seen these players. We know they're not good enough. So don't tell me you're going to try and improve the players. Half of these players shouldn't be at the football club. So if you improve Willian 10%, that's not enough. Eddie Nketiah 10%, that's not enough. Bellerin, El Neni, there's a number of players. You can improve them all you like. It's not enough. He has to sell. So that part of the press conference worries me. I didn't like that comment. The try business. We ain't got time for that. We ain't got time for that, Mikel, you know. His words have changed since the start of the window. Yeah, he seemed a lot more bullish at the start of the window. We've got plans. We know who we want. This, that, the other. Now it's I'll try. I'll work with what I've got. Arteta is out of his depth. Lone Star said 10 players must go. I genuinely think I don't think they're backing him. I honestly don't. Like I said, as much as I don't believe Mikel Arteta is the right manager to take us where we need to get to, I don't think that the Kroenkes are backing him. I think that's why his tone is changing. I think at the back end of last season, they give him the whole, we're not going to sell the club. You know, we're going to back you in the summer. Go and start talking to the players that you want and negotiate. I think he's come back for pre-season. They've probably given him less money. They've probably said you've got to sell a number of these players before you can buy. They're struggling to sell, and I think he's changing the tone. I think he's letting us know, listen, if we don't do too much in this window, I'm just letting you know mentally that we might not buy too many players. So I'm seriously, I'm panicking. I'm panicking with what's happening. You know, the club are putting out pictures saying the new kit's out on Saturday. I don't care about the new kit. I want to see 4 new players holding up that new kit. You know, I don't care about seeing Kolasinac and Willian in the new kit. You know, so prepare yourself, people. Listen, I hope by the end of the transfer window, we're having a very different conversation. But I am worried. Big up Brian Houston. He said, I was at the game last night. Aubameyang looked unfit. Pepe played good. Hibs were all over them in the first half, which was good for us, but bad for you lot. Could have been free at half time. Big up, Brian. Thank you for, you know, some insight into the game. It's always nice from, you know, if you're not at a game, to hear from someone who was there, what the general feeling. I felt Aubameyang didn't look very sharp as well. I've got to be honest. He put up a lot of videos over the summer of him training and running, and I thought, yes, you know, it is early in pre-season, and Hibs have trained for 2 weeks more than Arsenal due to the fact that the Scottish League starts before the Premier League. So, you know, maybe that was a reason that they look fitter, but it's a big season for Aubameyang. So, Brian, I appreciate, you know, your insight. Even Reece Nelson sold his yard. Yeah, his house is up for sale. You know, sky's the limit, said Curtis. I'm taking the P, but aren't you sick and tired of being sick and tired? Every year, same story. I'm done with it. Same owners, nothing will change, in my opinion. Sky's the limit, you know. These owners don't care. They can't show us much more that they don't care. You know, it's as blatant as it could ever be. They built a new stadium in America, one of the most expensive stadiums in the world. And we can't get a right back. We can't get a defensive midfielder. We can't get a number 10. They've got a new stadium built for his team in America. We can't even get a centre midfielder, a Basuma. Do you know what I'm saying? So I think the fans, again, have to make noise. Jake said could lose every pre-season game. It's crazy, isn't it? It's crazy. We got every game gets more difficult after Hibs. Big up Buenos Aires Guno. He said, can't even get the paperwork right to play our new player. And we're supposed to trust these clowns. Big up Curtis. Thank you for Arsenal therapy. Big up, bro. Thank you for supporting as always. I mean, they got the paperwork done too late to allow Nuno Tavares to play that game yesterday. I mean, come on. Come on now. Like, you're struggling to sign players. You can't even do the paperwork in the office and get it done on time. It's absolutely wild. Collateral FC, I'm telling you, we're just taking the fall for Kroenke. We're just taking the crumbs that fall off the plate. Brian said, second half, you were way better. You missed a pen and hit the post. Lacazette doesn't look too impressive. Partey looked good, though. Yeah, Lacazette, there was a couple of chances where, you know, he just swung and missed the ball. You know, but we'll see. It's going to be a long season. The documentary is going to be special. You know what? Someone just said in the comment before, apologies. He said, I'm looking forward to the documentary more than the season. I think that could be the highlight of the season because the way it looks at the moment, we're not too sure, you know. Hal B said, Curtis, Rangers and Stevie G will be licking their lips. they'll be looking to put work on us, man. Rangers will be looking to turn us over. Gerrard and is it Alfredo Morelos up front? These men will be looking to beat us, man. They're not going to be messing about, you know. So I don't know. Will Dobson said, "Don't buy the shirt. It just exploits us fans and the poor people who have to make the damn things." I hear you on that. HD Gaming said, "Owners should not always invest, but at the same time, they need to hire the right people in the roles. Hiring novice is a recipe for disaster." Yep, you're right on that one. You know, you don't necessarily have to. The self-sustaining model can work if you do it right. Liverpool did it right. We didn't. They sold their asset at the right time for a premium in Philip Coutinho and replaced him with Alisson and Van Dijk and went and won the Champions League and the league. We allowed the likes of Alexis, you know, who was one of the best players in the Premier League, to leave in a swap deal for Mkhitaryan. Ozil, we had to pay him to leave. Ramsey left for free. Welbeck left for free. Wilshere left for free. Players we should have picked up money for, you know. Let's look at a few other things. I mean, this with Mikel Arteta, I felt was just damning. And I have to, I don't know. I worry about these things. It's the first game of pre-season. And these pictures are not good. I know we lost the game and I know he was frustrated. But he almost looks like a forlorn figure already. Like, oh no, not this again. You know, the first time I've ever seen Mikel Arteta in a tracksuit, usually is Armani drip head to toe. He's given up. Man said, "I'm just wearing the Arsenal merch." But you look at him here, bro. You look at body language. You look at the leader and how the leader of the pack is acting. Mikel Arteta is the leader of our players. That's not a good picture for a manager midway during a pre-season game, the first pre-season game of the season. You know, he looks hella stressed, like, yo, that holiday finished real quick, the Euros finished real quick, and you're back. Bruv, I seen Arteta with grey in his beard. I seen Arteta with grey beard. Man's looking like he's aging real quick. The assistant manager looks like he don't know what to do or what to say. AirPods ain't back from the Euros yet. You know, again, it's like, oh no, what's happening? Look, again, like, oh damn, what am I going to do here? How am I going to sort this out? Man's like, I can't look. I just can't look. You know, he looks like a forlorn figure to me. Mikel, my friend, wait until you've got 60,000 Arsenal fans in the Emirates moaning when we lose a home game and they're vexed, you know? Man's gone from Armani FC to tracksuit. Man just took the merch now out of the club shop. Arteta drank from the poison Arsenal chalice. I'm genuinely being serious here. I'm concerned for this guy. He looks like a man under serious pressure already. Arteta out was trending, people. Arteta out was trending on Twitter last night after a preseason friendly. Arteta out. Thousands of people. Hashtag Arteta out after one preseason game. Even I wasn't saying that. You know, I've made my opinion abundantly clear on Arteta, but I'm not going to just go overboard with it now because they're going to stick with him. So for now, I've just got to sit there and see what happens. Even AirPods went to the Euros, you know. I think he was with Wales, wasn't he? You know, he's gone for a holiday. Man said, I don't want nothing to do with that preseason. He's probably said, nah, I don't want to go to Scotland. I'll be back for America. But no, for real, Mikel Arteta looks stressed. I want to see my leader of our team, broad shoulders. I've had my holiday. I'm ready. We're going to get signings. We're back for pre-season. These pictures don't represent that. They look like a man who is under serious pressure after a 90-minute pre-season friendly against Hibernian. And the brother Steve Rounds, you know, just doesn't really say much. You know, just sits there next to him. I think it's going to be a long, long season for this guy, man. Seriously. You know, I really do. They're not backing him, in my opinion. Seriously, man. You guys know I'll call Mikel Arteta out any of the time. I don't find it difficult to call him out. But I just don't think these lot are backing him at all. I don't think Edu is negotiating well enough. And I do not think that Stan Kroenke is backing this guy at all. that 250 million was a load of waffle because it was season ticket renewal time. And I'm worried. I think he's feeling the pressure, man. Seriously, man. And I'm worried about us this season. I really hope Edu gets the signings in, man. Ben said, big up, Big C. I've seen so many excuses already. You know, it's one of them. A lot of people, they really like Mikel Arteta and they will try and find excuses for him. But I am having to assess the bigger picture. You know, what's Edu doing and what's the Kroenkes doing? GP said we are like a cat chasing its tail, 100%. Chasing success, mate, and it's just out of our reach. This was good for Hibs leading up to the European campaign. Listen, big up Hibs. I know I said a few jokes about them yesterday. It was more aimed in frustration at my own team that was an absolute shambles. But big up to Hibs, man. They turned up. They gave us a quality game. They beat us. Good luck to them in Europe, man. Even we're not in Europe. So who am I to question them, you know? And Matt Macy actually had a decent game for them as well. Conte available. I know, but they're not interested. Did you renew? I mean, I have renewed, but I'm not going every week. You know, I said that for certain. I'm not spending my time and effort traveling around this country watching Arsenal, man, when they've got, you know, the teams looking like that. All or Nothing is going to be Oscar nominated. It's going to break records, mate. It's going to break all the Amazon records, Cedric. You know, you're completely right. MSA TV, let's all cheer up. Yeah, listen, honestly, I wasn't shouting. I wasn't screw-facing. I was cracking jokes. I was assessing the situation at the same time because I don't think it is a joke either. But I said I'm not going to allow Arsenal to ruin the summer. I'll sit here, I'll create content, and we'll see how we start the season. I'm just hoping we get some players in, some proper players. For me, we need 3 or 4 players that go straight into that starting 11 and improve the first 11. It's not just about buying squad players and improving the squad. We need starting lineup players. Big up Ans94, he said, Ryan Kent will have Arteta out trending again. He's a good player. Every time I've seen Rangers, that Kent always stands out. He's quick, man. He's going to give us problems on the weekend. Will you be copping any new kits? I'm going to be honest, smartly done. The yellow kit, I'm going nowhere near it. I don't like it. And as I said on the stream yesterday, every season Arsenal have one kit that they're garbage in. For some reason, there's one kit that's like the kit they will always lose it. And I've just got a feeling it's going to be that yellow kit. It's too bright. I don't like it. And we're just going to look like clowns losing games in it. I can see it already. The home kit comes out on Saturday. It has grown on me a little bit, but I won't be buying any kit until I see movement from this football club, you know. And that blue bruised banana kit that they're bringing out, I think that looks decent as well. But I won't be buying it, I'm telling you, until I see serious movement. Don't fall for the trap. No, I'm going to try my best, man. You'll see me in retro kits, man, that I've got. So in that sense, yeah, I'm going to try my very best to stay away from all the merch if possible. One bit of transfer news for Arsenal. Richard said, stop blaming the team. It's a friendly, bro. If you've been listening to me throughout the past, 45 minutes, I did not just blame the team. You know, the team didn't play well. I'm talking about the manager. I'm talking about the director of football and the owner. The players have to take responsibility also. You know, I can't not blame the team. You've gone to Hibernian and lost. It's embarrassing. So, Richard, make sure you've listened to everything before you throw out, comments at me. Put some context on it. Kid Kibble, Curtis, bro, look at the bigger picture. Arteta has no experience and got the job. No question by the owners. I don't think you can even walk into McDonald's and ask for a job with no experience. They'll say, listen, man, you ever fried any chips? No, I've never fried them. They'll say, listen, man, come back when you fried some chips. This guy walked into Arsenal and got the biggest job there for £6 million a year, But we can't ignore the performance. This is what I'll say. We're not going to overreact, but we can't ignore it because this feels like a continuation of last season. So there's no way we can just, sweep it under the carpet and go, it's only pre-season. It doesn't work like that. You can't just switch it on. We can't go and lose every pre-season game and then just decide to start balling out at the start of the season, It's just pre-season is small club mentality. Exactly. Do you think Pep Guardiola would let Man City go to Hibernian and lose and go, it's only pre-season? No, this is your preparation. You need to perform and use this as your prep for the season, you know? So no, I don't believe it should be. 600k views, Curtis, you can afford it. Hey, listen, man, I'd rather spend my money elsewhere than buying Arsenal kits right now when we don't even feel appreciated by the football club. They want us to pay £8 to watch a pre-season game. But listen, like as you say, man, and as I said at the start of the video, I have to thank everyone for the amazing views on not just that video that, you know, blew up and got over 500,000 views. All the videos in general, the views have been fantastic. And even yesterday, I thought pre-season against Hibs, do I do a watch along? You know, over 35,000 views. So I can't thank you all enough. Carl said, I'm still sending out blank CVs, yet to receive an interview. What am I doing wrong, Big C? Tell them that Pep Guardiola is your reference, man. That might get you an interview somewhere. I didn't have a pre-season. Yeah, you know, that old chestnut that Arteta, that people will use. But listen, let me give you the one bit of transfer news that we've got today. It's a name we've spoken about a number of times. It's the only general story that's going around today is that Arsenal have offered the best financial package to Sassuolo for Manuel Locatelli. However, the player wants to play for Juventus. Edu will speak to Locatelli to convince him to join Arsenal. Now, it's interesting because this guy doesn't want to come to Arsenal. This guy wants Juventus. However, beggars can't be choosers. If it falls through and he can't go Juve, Arsenal will take him. I like Locatelli. I think he's a good player. I actually don't think he's the answer. I like Barella more than Locatelli, but we wouldn't get Barella from Inter Milan. I would honestly still rather go and get Basuma because this guy doesn't want Arsenal. He wants Juventus. He's desperate to go to Juventus as well. Edu's just going to throw money at him and hope that Juventus can't get to the numbers that we offer. I wouldn't even pursue this one. Remember when Mikel Arteta said last season in pre-season, we don't have to convince players to come to Arsenal. They should want to come here. I mean, we're pretty much begging this guy with a bowl out saying, come and join Arsenal, please. This guy's begging Juve and we're begging Locatelli. I don't think we'll get him anyway. I think he wants to go to Juventus so much that I think Sassuolo will do a deal. I think they'll allow it to happen somehow. Only Arsenal would want to sign a player that doesn't want to play for the club. You know what I mean? It's crazy, isn't it? Richard Blackwood said, good point. Levi said, big up Curtis, big up bro. Tell that to Buendia. Yeah, but I think Buendia was very interested in going to Villa. I think it was different. I don't think Buendia was out here saying, yo, I want Arsenal badly. Like, I don't think he was. I think he was happy to go to Villa. He looked at their style of football, the fact Emi was there, and I think it tempted him. Sam Chapman said, I'm a Liverpool fan. You deserve to win. First goal, goalie mistake. Second goal, offside. Yeah, I hear you on that. You know, if there was VAR, but there isn't, it's pre-season. The goalie makes a mistake. Second goal's offside. We miss a penalty. We should have won the game. If we win the game, we're not quite having Arsenal therapy. But what my worry is the lack of preparation. We don't look like a team that is getting seriously prepared for the new season. Where's the signings? Where's the player sales? I didn't see a great team spirit. The body language wasn't screaming out to me yesterday. I didn't see players smiling and looking like they're happy to be back playing football. It almost looked like a burden, like, yeah, I'm back at Arsenal, man. This is going to be madness again, you know. But big up, Sam, with your comment. Big up, Whistle, with the super chat. Thank you for your support, as always. The problem with Kroenke is he's treating the club like he does his NFL and NBA teams. Keep in mind, American teams have the draft system, so each team will eventually end up with good players. And you're right, and it's a totally different system to the way things work in England. And I think this is why he was so keen on taking Arsenal into the Super League, because he wanted to get out of this situation. And we would have been spoon-fed money by the Super League to go and buy players. And I think that says a lot about Arsenal and the Kroenkes. Big up Alfred with a super chat. He said, remember the movie A Bug's Life? The grasshopper said, it's only one ant. That one ant gives the rest confidence. Other teams will too in pre-season. Man, I'm talking about A Bug's Life, you know. I hear what you're saying, though. You know, you say it's only pre-season, then you go and lose to Rangers. Then what do you say? Oh, it's only the Scotland tour. And then you go and lose to Inter Milan and Everton, and you go, well, it's only the American tour. We can't keep giving them that excuse. It's not just because we lost one game. This is a product of what's been happening before. Who do you think is better, Ruben Neves or Locatelli? I think Locatelli's more in form. He had a very good season last year. So I can understand why there's more hype around him, but he just doesn't want to come here. So I wouldn't pursue it. I would not pursue it. He's not interested. Poetry in Motion said, big up Curtis. Look on the bright side. Partey looks like he will be our designated free kick taker. Boy, the number 5 shirts made him shoot, man. The man doing side foot knuckleballs, bruv. Nearly went in the top corner. So maybe the Pigeons at the Emirates will be safe going into the season. Be Nice and Humble said, Curtis, bruv, if you remember, I asked you who's the worst owner, Kroenke, FSG or Glazers. In the space of 24 hours, we were strongly linked with Sal and Marlin, and now both are going to Barcelona and Dortmund. Listen, man, the Kroenkes are head and shoulders. They're the worst owners out of those guys you've mentioned, man. Liverpool have won the Champions League and the Prem, and Man United spend huge money every summer. The Kroenkes are by far the worst owners. People, on that note, I am out of here. Big up to everyone for tuning in. As usual, this is another Arsenal therapy. I will be back tomorrow. It may be a little bit later tomorrow because I am recording with AFTV tomorrow at the studio. So I may be back a little bit later. I will keep you informed on the community page. Maybe around 4 o'clock that I go live tomorrow. Unless I actually go live from AFTV at 2 o'clock. But I'll keep you informed of that. Over 1,500 of you watching. Thank you very much for tuning in. Smash a like on the video. If we can hit 1,000 likes, it would be much appreciated. Again, you've been doing some great numbers on there. Subscribe if you haven't already as we approach 30,000 subscribers. Take care, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you all tomorrow. Bless.